reporting live post Legree Motivate class, which is essentially Pilates. I didn't film anything because I don't want to dox my location, but it was great. Unfortunately, I woke up from like a horrific dream and had to go to class, which honestly was good because it got me out of my head. I felt very weird after the stream, but it felt so good. I love how subtle Pilates is. I do like sweating, and I didn't really sweat, so, but I think if I go a couple times a week, that'll feel nice for me. My goodness, after doing Chloe Ting booty and legs for the last 2 days, and then doing this, I'm getting a massage today, so. I am on this new tip that, like, I've never been so motivated in my life. And let me give some context here. So I grew up playing a lot of sports, pretty athletic, have always been moving and grooving, okay? And then once I hit like 19, that's when I started doing yoga. And so I moved more into that world, not so much playing sports, still running, and mostly like running, a lot of biking. I biked a lot in my 20s. Like, we're talking like 20-30 mile days were like standard. I was living in Chicago, and then I lived in New York where I was biking all the time. So I've always been like really active, and it's felt very good to me. Like, for me, it feels good to really like physically tire myself out like that. I'm also an Aquarius moon, so I feel like I'm in my head a lot, and that's a good way for me to just like get in my body, especially as a Taurus. I'm very like, two things can be true at once. I can be very in here, but I also like very much live my life through like the physical, tangible world. So anyway, then I got into Pilates like right before the pandemic, and the yoga studio I was teaching at the time had like, we had access to this really nice Pilates studio in New York, so I was doing that, and then the pandemic hit, so I stopped doing the reformer. Then I just went into mat Pilates, lots of yoga, moved to LA, still running, hiking, etc. Then I got pregnant, and I was still pretty active during my pregnancy, walked a ton, also did a lot of yoga. Didn't do Pilates though, because my midwife advised against it because it like really helps tighten the pelvic floor. Mind you, I already had a very tight pelvic floor. That's another story for another time, because I have done lots of yoga and Kundalini. Anyway, then I gave birth and had a very traumatic emergency C-section. And literally, like, mentally I was rocked, physically I was rocked, emotionally I was rocked. And I was like, okay, like, we are just gonna sit our ass down, feed this baby, heal as best we can. And so I didn't do much, especially the first like 6 to 8 weeks. Like, all I did, once I started to feel okay, like doing things on my own, I would just go walk. I was living in an apartment building at the time, and I would just go walk on the roof of my apartment building because it was like safe. No one would like mess with me. And it wasn't until, I'm gonna set this down. Then I started to feel physically better. I started getting back into yoga, just like very gentle yoga, because I couldn't even do like an upward facing dog because my scar and like the whole area down there was just like, what in the world? So now, like, we're at like 2 years later since I've had my daughter, and I've like been doing yoga, I've been walking, I've walked a lot since I've had her, but I haven't really like pushed it. And not that I like necessarily believe in like crazy high intensity workouts for women all the time, but I know for me personally, one, I feel extremely weak. I used to feel so strong. Like before I had her, I felt very, very strong in the sense of like, I felt like I had endurance. I felt like I could, like, if someone tried to fuck with me, like I would fuck with them back, you know, or just like if I needed to like run for an extended period of time, like I could have done that, you know. So it's all these things where I just feel very motivated to be strong again. And also, I want to like feel good in my body, like how I look, because one, I realized, oh yeah, I'm not 20 anymore. I'm not my 20s where like a little bit of effort went a long way. It's like I kind of have to put in a little bit more effort, not that much more, but a little bit more and consistent effort to really manipulate my body the way I want it to. And I really believe that you can sculpt your body how you want it to through both physical, mental ways. So I had this sort of reality check of how I am looking these days. You know, some people would see me and be like, oh, what the hell, like you had a baby, like of course your body changes. I understand that my body has changed, but also I understand that I am vain and I want to look and feel good. You gotta look good to feel good. You gotta feel good to look good. So I saw this like video of myself and I was like, I don't like what I see for myself. I don't care what anyone else thinks. Like I personally was like, no, that's not for me. I look like someone who had a baby and has kind of been sitting on their ass for 2 years, truly. And I don't want to be that. Like, I want to be a hot mom and a hot version of myself and a strong version of myself. And I was like determining whether or not I even wanted to share this because it's like pretty self-involved, but my work is like to take care of myself. Like that is my, I believe that that's like my mission, is to take care of myself, because I take care of a lot of other people, both like my family and like I feed people. So I need to take care of myself and nourish myself before I can nourish other people. So anyway, I saw this video, that was this weekend, and it was like seared in my brain. Like I went to bed thinking about it and I woke up thinking about it, and I was like, it is go time. And I can see how people who have children let themselves go. Like I fully understand. It's the best excuse. Having a kid is like the best excuse for anything. Don't want to go to something. Sorry, I can't. My kid. Don't want to do something. Sorry, I can't. I have my kid. Whatever. It's the best excuse. But it's also like an excuse I've been using to not take care of myself. It's like, oh, I have to do this for her. And it's like, I just put her down for a nap. And then I just did like a 15-minute booty blast workout. Okay. And sure, I don't think just doing 15 minutes every day is going to make that massive of a difference. But I went on a walk this morning. I did this booty blast. I really want to get back into doing Pilates because I know how that is like such a way to manipulate your body and to feel really strong. So I signed up for a 6:30 a.m. class tomorrow. I'm going to try and go. Adrian and I have to work around him wanting to go to the gym in the morning, us having to take our daughter to school. She doesn't go to school 5 days a week, so I have to like kind of work around that. However, I might be putting her in 5 days a week soon, not full days, but because I want to be able to like work out 5 days a week. Like, sue me, okay? But in conjunction with this, I've also been doing more yin yoga. I've never done more yin in my life. And I think that women need to do more yin. I think all of us need to be doing more yin yoga and more like resting. So I'm hitting like both ends of the dial here. I'm not gonna do HIIT. I think it's a little too much for me. Maybe, we'll see. But 45-minute Pilates class feels like really good. Really, really good to me. I also feel like I am a little like you know, not necessarily where I want to be in my career at this point in time. Like, there are all these things that I'm kind of like, oh, like, what am I doing? Granted, I like have an incredible daughter, and I've gotten to spend like so much time with her at these like 2 very crucial years of her life, the first 2 years of her life. But I feel like me putting this emphasis and investment back into like my physical body is a way for me to like have a concrete goal and like really be able to like see the results of it, right? Because I know what I can do and what I'm capable of, and this is something where I know I'll be able to see tangible results, and that's very satisfying for me, because I have these goals like career-wise that aren't necessarily like 1 + 1 = 2 sort of steps. Like I want to create this career for myself that hasn't necessarily been done, and it's very multifaceted, and it's very much like me being my own brand. So I understand that that's going to take time, and being gracious with myself in that area while pushing myself in this area where I know I will be able to see results and sort of give myself that confidence that I used to like have effortlessly. Like becoming a mother really is like rocks you in a wonderful way, but it's just like, oh my God. And you know, there are other things too, like my cycle hasn't been normal. I'm not really in a place where I'm interested in doing like major calorie deficit or like, you know, starving myself. Like I don't think that that's what my body needs or my body wants, but also just making more wise decisions as far as like what I'm consuming food wise, mentally. Also, like I have kind of been on a break with like reading the last 2 months, and like finally feel like I'm finding some books that I really want to read. So it's really this sort of like overhaul of like my well-being and really taking care of myself. And I think it's okay to like selfishly want to look good and feel good, because my grandmother, my mom's mom, my like maternal lineage, one of the things my grandmother said on her deathbed, she died in her early 70s, so she wasn't terribly old. And she said her biggest regret in life was letting herself go. And my mom told me that. I was maybe like 6 or 7 when she died, maybe a little younger. And my mom told me that, and that has stuck with me. That has stuck with me because my mom's always been someone who's like really taken care of herself. She's worked out. She, you know, she knows that like she needs to move to like feel good and sane. And that has stuck with me. I don't want my biggest regret to be that I let myself go. I want to be able to be moving and grooving until I'm like 97 and I make the decision to be like, okay, I'm gonna go to sleep tonight and we're good. You know, like I want to be able to like wipe my own ass until the day I die. So come on this little journey with me. Did my little booty blast. We'll go on another little walk later. Just like no more excuses. I feel myself making excuses, and it's pissing me off. It's pissing me off. Okay. So, also I'm getting married in November, and I want to look fine. I want to walk down that aisle and my man burst into tears. Be like, who? This angel. This beautiful angel walking down the aisle. How did I get so lucky? Even though I know he feels that every day. But I want to take care of myself. Sue me. Sue me.